All right. Oh, welcome, you guys. Welcome, new coaches. I am so stoked to welcome you guys all to the team. The tribe that we've built with Boomerang Wellness is insane, and the women that continue to come in are just like the most, it just continues to be the most epic humans I've ever met. Just keep coming in, and you're going to find really quickly with this business that like attracts like. So the more authentic and the more you that you are, the more people you're going to bring into your circle that are just like you and just as awesome as you are. I have this motto that I let my freak flag fly all the time, and the people who join are so like me. It's actually crazy. Usually there's a little mix of anxiety, a little social weirdness. Most people are always late. That's a thing that people that join our team, because these are all traits that I have. And love good food and good wine, especially tacos and avocados. There's an avocado trend on our team. Yep, you know what's up. And just basically are the most kind-hearted humans ever. So welcome to Boomerang Wellness. I'm so stoked to be able to officially welcome you guys in. I'm going to go over just a couple of like the expectations as a new coach, maybe answer a couple of questions you guys might have, and then I'm going to walk you through kind of what your first steps look like. So if you have a piece of paper and a pen, definitely suggest getting those out. And also, if you have those 3 images that I posted in the team page, then those you'll want to have out too. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to show you guys really quickly, if I can just screen share here. Doop. All right. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? Awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to show you in our team page. I'm going to remake the cover photo, but if you just click on the cover photo, it takes you to this, and the description of the cover photo gives you all of your first steps as a new coach. And I did this for a reason, so it could never get lost, because you're going to notice there's quite a few notifications in the team page. Lots of people are posting all the time, lots of value and good stuff, and I didn't want it to get lost. So step 1, you're going to read over this Google Doc here, and it just basically goes over your first 3 steps as a new coach. You know, it's just like, welcome, breathe. You're going to go through the new coach handbook, then you're going to go through the new coach Boomerang Coach Academy website that I just created, and then you're going to talk with your upline coach about your goals and any questions that you may have, and also when their next challenge group is, because that's the challenge group you're going to help them with. And if you have never done a challenge group before, this will be you being like the best challenger in there. So you'll be just posting your stuff and really committed to your journey, because I can't speak highly enough about this. The more that you commit to your own journey and the more you focus on yourself and just share that with your social media following, with people you talk to in your everyday life, the more that you focus on just like being the best you possible, the more successful you're going to be as a coach. It's when you focus on everybody else's shit that everything crumbles. So if you take nothing away from this call tonight, it's just focus on your journey and get so excited about your journey. You have the tools now. You have the resources. You have the best workout programs in the entire world. You have the best supplement in the entire world. Shakeology is literally bar none. There's nothing to compare it to. It's epic. And you now have access to the most amazing community, in my opinion, of like-minded people who are all on a mission to just live the best life they can now, not when retirement hits at like 65 or 70. When like heart disease sets in. So you do want to go over the document there, and then step number 2 is go through the new coach handbook, which you can find in the file section, and I'll show you guys that right away here. And then step 3, you're going to go through the Boomerang Coach Academy. So I'm just going to show you super quick a couple of the resources I put in this. They're not mandatory, but they're totally helpful. I have this Google Doc how to get started right for challengers handbook that I created. This is essentially like a prep week. So if you've never done a challenge, you're going to want to download this for yourself. It goes over some of my favorite homemade dressings. It goes over how to take before photos. It goes over how to clean out your pantry and your fridge, and some personal development suggestions, and basically just how to get started on your journey. And so if you're just getting started on your journey yourself, look through that handbook. It's super helpful. And then also, feel free to copy and use that PDF for your challenge groups. I am so about paying it forward and being a river of resources, not a reservoir. So whatever is mine is yours. So anything you find on our team page and on our team training website, use those things. I've created them for a reason so that you can be more successful quicker than I was. That's like my number 1 goal here. Okay. Team clothing, if you want, there are some awesome pieces in there. Yeah, Kaylee's wearing the Inhale Exhale Repeat sweater that I made. So there's some really sweet stuff in there. I'm actually going to be changing that, but that doesn't matter right now. And then there's a few other Facebook groups. If you don't join any other Facebook group other than this one, the Beachbody Champions page, there's so many good videos in there, so many good live trainings, and just like most of the top coaches will go live in there and just share best practices. So it's a really good place to learn. And when you find coaches that are inspiring to you, you can create their videos on YouTube. There is so much information out there that it's almost like you can get overwhelmed really easily. But the fact that there's so much information out there is a good thing, right? It means that this train is moving, the momentum bus is moving, and you're part of that. Alrighty. If you have any questions at all and you can't find it in the training and you can't find it on YouTube, here's the link to the FAQ in your Coach Online office. I use it all the time. I still am learning. I'm 3 years in and I still learn every single day. Okay. I'm just going to show you guys real quick here. The on the left sidebar here, go to the files. The photos is really helpful too, okay? But the file section has a bajillion things in there. I'll be honest with you, I probably should take some of them out because there's a lot. But the only thing you really need right now, well, actually, like the top 4 things are pretty helpful. So the Boomerang Tribe Coach Handbook, that's what you're going to want to download. It's going to go over how to set up your banking, send in a tax form. It's called the W-8BEN tax form because we're Canadian coaches. You're going to want to save 30% of your checks because they don't take off tax on your checks since it's an American company. So I just save 30% of my checks and then come tax time, make sure I have a little bit of money just in case for charging. And you only have to pay taxes if you make over $500, but that can be talked on at a different time. Anyways, the handbook goes through all the basic questions you'll have. So like, what's your job as a coach? What are the 3 vital behaviors? Here's some helpful tools and resources, how to set up your banking info, like I said, first goals as a coach, some personal development suggestions, and a checklist for success at the very end. So I just wanted to show you guys this first one. Your journey as a new coach is it kind of goes like this. So everybody's on a different part of their journey right now. Everybody's at different stages. Some people have been part of challenge groups for a few months. Some people are just jumping in. Christy, I know you're brand new, just jumping into a challenge group on Monday. Sweet. So that's where you get to start. And somebody else might be like, I've been in challenge groups for a year and now I'm ready to start coaching. So it's totally varied across the board. So your journey is going to look like this. You're going to start as a brand new coach. You're going to learn the basics. You're going to focus on your journey, like I said. Start doing the vitals consistently. The vitals are essentially focusing on you. So being proof of the product, right? Do your workouts, drink shake, go, read PD, and then just posting about it and inviting to the opportunity. That is actually what we do as coaches. It's so simple. It's really easy to overcomplicate it and want to like get so creative and crazy with it. And you can, it's your business, right? But at the end of the day, keep it so simple because it will be much more enjoyable for you if you do that. So in your first month or 2, same thing, do your vitals, dive into the new coach training. I'll go through the website really quickly after this too, but just for like a timeline, like a given timeline, the new coach welcome document takes like a couple minutes to go through and understand. The handbook that I kind of just showed you a little bit, I mean, you can rip through that in a day, like, take an hour and kind of just go through it, kind of soak up some of the knowledge. The new coach training website that I'm going to show you guys, I made 3, so there's 3 intro lessons and then there's 8 core lessons. So I mean, that's 11 different lessons. Even if you did 1 a day or 1 every second day, depending on what the pace that you want to take with your journey, it should take you like up to 2 weeks or less to crush through that coach training. The faster you do it, obviously, for yourself, the better, because as soon as you know some of the basics and can get off to a good start, the better. But again, it's your journey, so there's no pressure to do it all in 5 days if you work 60 hours a week and can't. We're all in different stages of our journey. And then months 3 to 6, you're just going to continue to do the same thing. Your goals as a coach, in order to be successful as a coach, it means different things for different people. But if I were to give you guys a standard to set for yourself as non-negotiables every month, it would be to try to help at least 3 people get set up with a challenge pack in your next group or your coach's next group. And you can always co-host groups with friend coaches and stuff too, to take some of the work off of. I know we're running a big 80-day one right now, and there's 12 of us coaches each posting on 1 week. So you can really lighten the load and stuff. that way. And Facebook groups have a new thing where you can schedule your posts, which is really, really handy. So you can sit down and schedule out all your posts for the entire group over like an hour or two on a Saturday. And then you know that those are going to be going out every day. So little tricks and tips like that you're going to pick up along the way. But your non-negotiable goals for yourself as a coach, if you want to make this a business, if you want to be earning an income and building and as a business and not just as a hobby, you're going to want to try to help at least 3 new people every single month get set up with a challenge pack. And you're going to want to try to help at least 2 coaches join our tribe every month. And you can join the tribe as a discount coach. You can join the tribe as a business builder. It doesn't really matter. Everybody that joins the tribe, I welcome them in the exact same way because you never know what people are going to do with it. And I always say, it's my responsibility and my obligation at this point to just pay this forward and give the opportunity to anybody, and what they do with it is up to them. So I can just provide the support, I can provide the tools, I can provide the heart, right, and the space to build something beautiful. And if you want to run with it, I'm running with you. If you want to walk, I'm walking with you. And if you don't show up, I'm not going to chase you, because at the end of the day, it's your business, right? It's your thing. So that's kind of what it looks like, your journey as a coach. It's so fun, you guys. This job is so freaking fun. Sometimes I actually have to pinch myself. Like this week I was sick and I didn't really work. I'll be honest with you. I didn't work that much. I'm kind of a psycho, like type A, love what I do so much that I find myself like forgetting to pee and eat and just working the whole day because I love it so much. True story there. But this week I was kind of sick and I was like, man, I got to take some time off. So I just didn't work as much. Still getting paid, still making a paycheck, still showing up on social media. Even though I'm sick, I'm like, hey, this is me, I'm a hot mess, I'm still here, right? And people appreciate that because I'm just being real and honest. And people, especially right now, especially with social media being so curated right now and so photoshopped and everybody showing like lifestyle porn all over the place, showing up as you and just being like, man, I'm kind of messy, like my nose is kind of runny right now, and if I'm being honest, I smell like curry because I'm just cooking in the kitchen before this, you know. But showing up and just being real is so much more important than trying to be perfect, because when you try to be perfect, you put too much pressure on yourself, extra stress that's super unnecessary, and you might not even get started because you're too scared to fail because you set your standards too high for yourself. So just a little word to the wise. So go through that new coach handbook, you guys. Download it, share it with your new coaches. The cover photo has the same steps for everybody. So I've made it so that everybody can have access to the same resources and can have the same jumping off point. To start successfully as a coach. So I'm going to really quickly show you guys the new coach website. So it's password protected. The only reason I did this is because, first of all, it kind of feels fun. It's like espionage, like you get to sign in with a password. It's all capitals and it's just be the change, because that's what we're trying to do. All right. So this is what the new coach website looks like. And I just put a little picture up top here of how the training works. So again, go through the coach handbook. You're going to want to do that before you go through the new coach website. And then you're going to notice that there's a start here category and a foundations category. So if you just click on training, oops, gotta put that in again. If you just click on training, it actually is categorized. Come on, where are you at? There. It's in categories. So if you just click start here, there's 3 intro lessons, and these are like your first 3 to 5 days as a coach, and it's going to set you up. Okay, why? I already put that in. It's going to set you up for success as a coach in your first week. All right. My internet's going to be funky now because I have too many tabs open. Okay, so intro day 1, I'm talking about the vital behaviors here. So you're just going to want to go with set up like blog post style. And so I set it up in a way that you can be like, okay, today I'm doing intro 1 and I'm not going to go to bed until I finish intro 1. Sweet. Today I'm going to do intro 2, which talks about coach basics, shows you how to access your online office as a coach and the website and that kind of thing. And then day 3 talks about the invitation process and actually helps you learn how to sign people up with the links and stuff, because that's one of the most common questions people, they announce on social media that they're a coach and then they're like, shit, now what? How do I sign people up? So the first 3 days of the start here, intro, whatever, checklist, those are going to set you up for success in your first week as a coach. And it's going to introduce you to the vital behaviors. So you start getting into a role of like, oh, this is what it's like to be a coach. This is how I can fit work, coach work into the pockets of my day. You know, when I first started as a coach, I was teaching like 4 to 5 days a week, teaching fitness twice a week, and waitressing 4 nights a week. I was hella busy, didn't have a lot of time. But I will tell you that it is the busy people who are most successful with this, because you find pockets in your day to fit it in, you know, and like I said, you find little tips. Like I learned how to schedule my posts for my challenge groups. I learned how to batch some content when I was feeling super inspired on like a Friday or Saturday. I'd type out a couple posts and save them in the notes on my phone. Or if I was having a good hair day, like I showered like once a week, I would take a couple selfies in a couple different t-shirts, so I had some different pictures to use and stuff. So you learn these little tricks and tips as you go, and it's just done is so much better than perfectly not done. Is just kind of the advice I want to give you here. So then after that, I have an intro checklist, because I'm all about them lists. And it just says like, okay, this is week 1. Like, how do you feel? Here's what you should have accomplished in week 1. And then you go to foundations. And like I said before, there's 8 different lessons. I don't know why that's not showing up. So you go over social media, inviting, objections. This is a big one. And I'm just going to come out and say it, you guys, if somebody has an objection, it means that they're interested and they're actually trying to figure it out for themselves if it could work in their life. So objections are actually really good. Okay. Lesson 4, Shakeology and how to talk about it. It is not just a protein shake, I promise, if you don't already know that. Lesson 5, personal growth or PD. Lesson 6 is challenge groups, and like, what are challenge groups? How do they work? Success Club. What the hell is Success Club and why do you want to hit it? Success Club is essentially, it's the marker for if you're building a business or if you just have a hobby. And if you're a hobby coach, that's so fine. But if you're on this call, you're probably not a hobby coach. So hitting Success Club is like your gauge for which you're going to use to see if you're building your business forward. And the way you build your business forward is if you help a few new people. Remember I said 3 new people every month? If you help 3 new people every month, you're building your network, right? You're compounding and expanding over time. And because part of the way that we earn money as Beachbody coaches, you make 25% commission. Awesome. You make residual income, which is extra awesome, because when you have people who start to fall in love with Shakeology, for example, and they stay on it month after month, even if you're not still working with those people in specific groups and they're still purchasing Shakeology, you're still getting a residual income from those people. So as you start to build new contacts and clients into that network, you start gaining from that as well. So it's a really, really beautiful way to earn a lucrative income from people that you've helped and worked with maybe once or twice, and they still love the product and they can maybe go off on their own, but you're still getting an income from that. So really, really cool. And then finally, lesson 8, my favorite cactuses, love them, is Emerald and Beyond. And that's kind of talking about what it means to rank advance your business, what it means to actually build a team once you've gone through the training. I've hooked up at the very bottom, if you click this little, it's actually Spotify icon, it takes you to the FAQ, where I said before you can look at questions, and then that takes you to the Boomerang clothing shop. It's just in there if you want it. And then finally, I put in resources. I'll just go to it just to see what I put in there, because I kind of forget. I think I put like a weekly tracker. Yeah. So I put in a weekly tracker, a contact tracker, a thank you list tracker. When you start, you'll start to learn like how this is going to work for you. But when you start to post stuff on social media and people start to like and comment on your things, a really good rule of thumb is to reach out to those people. Like, you can keep a little list of their names and reach out and just say, yo, thank you so much for liking my stuff. I know it took you 2 seconds to click that button, but it's new. This journey is new to me. I'm being vulnerable on social media and I really appreciate your support. Are you also on a health and wellness journey? Boom, conversation started, right? So it's those kind of little things that you guys are going to learn as you start. And then finally, I put income and expenses trackers in here. They're actually in the Boomerang coach file page on the Facebook page, but we get to write everything off. You guys, you are now a small business owner. Welcome. So you get to write off your Shakeology and your business fee and your new computer and part of your phone bill and part of your rent and your workout clothes. Okay. So make sure you keep the receipts for those things, because you get to write it off come tax time. So really, really important. If you go for a coffee with a new coach prospect, if you buy a summit ticket and a hotel room and fly to Indianapolis with us this summer, you get to write all of that off. Okay. So huge, huge, huge. Save your receipts and you get to write all of it off come tax time, which is really sweet, because our business expenses are $19 a month, which is like literally peanuts. I'm pretty sure every other business, the stat is something like in the first 2 or 3 years of a business, people are in the red. So as a Beachbody coach, you get to start by just buying your product that you use. You get to buy your Shakeology and your workout programs for the year, and that's your buy-in to a business. So it's pretty badass if you ask me. All right, so that is the training stuff. I just wanted to show you guys like how to locate that. And I know it can seem like a lot off the hop, but just start. Just let yourself learn something new every day and just know that it's there for you, so you don't have to be like, okay, where do I even begin with this? Go through the new coach like welcome document, go through the handbook, and then just start making your way through the Boomerang Coach Academy website. And as you start learning the things and as you start putting 2 and 2 together and stuff, you'll be in your coaches challenge group that they're hosting hopefully in March, and you can see how they kind of put these things into practice, and you can start to ask them questions as you go. Our team like policy, I guess, I don't know if we have a policy, we're pretty chill, but our team like policy is really open arms and open hearts. So if you have questions, like don't feel bad about reaching out. Don't feel bad about posting them in the team page. We're all in this together, and we're so much more powerful when we work together. So just, oh, I can show you guys how to find. If you have a question, for example, about like pregnant and Shakeology, if you're like, oh, can pregnant women drink Shakeology? First of all, yes, they can. And it actually can replace the prenatal. You can find all the posts, if you use that search bar, you can find all the posts that anybody ever asked that have pregnant and Shakeology in there. So this is a really good video. And then there's a whole bunch, like Roz is a nurse, and she is actually a labor and delivery nurse, and she talked about how they don't have to take a prenatal when they take Shakeology and stuff. So if you have any questions at all, you can just look in this search bar and let's see, Success Club. You can just look in the search bar and see what all the posts in the group have been with those keywords in them. So that's a really good way to like learn something quickly if you have questions about it. Okay, what else did I want to mention here? I'm going to stop screen sharing. Okay. Oh yeah, I want to talk about this really quickly. So as a new coach, it can be super, I don't know if I want to use the word intimidating, but you can be intimidated because you don't really know what you're doing yet, and you might not feel like an expert yet. And I always say that competence breeds confidence. So that's why the faster you can learn the new coach training, the quicker you're going to feel really confident in what you have to offer people. And the more like competent you are with the material and what we have to offer as a team and a company with these programs and products and stuff, the more belief you're going to have in yourself, and the more belief you're going to have in this mission and what we're doing. And that just comes across in conversations. So when you start to have your first conversations as a coach, it might not be, hey, I can help you do this. It might be more along the lines of, hey, I just started this journey and I'm looking for some accountability partners. Do you want to do this with me? So when you're a brand new coach, really positioning yourself as a, hey, I'm not really sure what I'm doing either, but I'm super excited about it. I have some friends who've gotten really sweet results with it. They've changed their lives with it. Do you want to do this thing with me? We're doing 3 weeks. We're going to do this 30-minute a day workout program, drink a superfood smoothie, and read this book called The Goddess Revolution. Do you want to join? And people are more likely to respond kindly to that than if you try to position yourself as like, hey, I know exactly what I'm doing. And then they come at you with some questions and you're like, whoa, shit, don't know what I'm doing. And then you just leave the conversation, right? So way easier for you to position yourself as a, hey, let's do this side by side until you feel qualified enough. You don't have to be qualified, but until you're confident enough in yourself. Like at this point, for myself personally, I have people coming to me with dietary advice. I have people coming to me with different kinds of things that I can now speak to with so much confidence that that I don't have to position it in a way that it's like, I still position it in a way that let's do it together, but people know that I know what I'm doing at this point because it's been 3 years, right? So just know that it's okay if you don't feel totally confident yet. It's kind of like a fake it till you make it type thing. And I always say to myself, like when I'm feeling whatever, nervous or anything, whoever you pretend to be, that's who you'll be. So if I pretend to show up as this like awesome, confident, excited person, I will become that person because that's what I'm enacting every day, right? So fake it till you make it, pretend to be who you want to be. Okay, let's go through those sheets that I posted because I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. Just gotta find it now. Oh, I have them. Right. Sorry, I'm just trying to find them on my screen here. Sorry guys. Beachbody, there we go. Really quick tip too, if you are using a laptop, you can do this on your smartphone too. Like smartphones are incredible, little pocket computers. But create a folder for yourself on your desktop or on your or in your phone photos, and just like put pictures that inspire you in there. So if you like take 20 or 30 minutes on Pinterest at like coffee break or on the weekend or something, and you're super inspired by some of those like quote images or whatever, put those into that folder, and then you can use an app like I use Canva, or WordSwag is super awesome. Actually, I really love WordSwag, highly recommend. And I'll recreate those quotes. So I like recreate them as though in my brand style, like my text, the text that I use, the colors that I use, the fonts that I use. And that just helps you stand out. So when people see your posts, they're like, oh, that's Morgan's post. Oh, I get it. That's Dez's style. Oh, that's Kaylee's style, right? So it helps you start to position yourself, kind of like brand yourself a little bit with those kind of things. Coach training, where are you at? Oh, here we go. Okay. So I'm just going to really quickly screen share again. All right. Can you guys see this okay? Yes? Okay, so you have this color wheel. Hopefully you guys have it printed out. If you don't have it printed out, no worries. Just use a piece of paper and a pen in front of you. And what I want you to do is I want you to look at this wheel, and I want you to just think about, okay, now I've decided to join Boomerang Wellness as a Beachbody coach. And it's really likely that I'm going to want to just post about Beachbody things, but you are made up of so much more than just Beachbody, right? So it's really, really important to remember that you are an individual first and foremost, and you found these tools and resources and community to better your life, but you also have so much knowledge in a bunch of different categories to pay forward to people. So as you look at the colors, I want you guys to think about, okay, what are my top 5 favorite interests, and just jot those down. What are things that really get you going? Are you super into knitting or baking, or do you have celiac disease, or have you struggled with anxiety, or do you go kite surfing, or do you love camping or hiking, or are you a homebody, or do you love painting watercolor cactuses on Sundays? Whatever your jam is, whatever you love. Did you do gymnastics as a kid, like competitively? You know, whatever your stuff is, your top 5 fave interests, write those down, because those are going to become the basis for what you post about. So for example, my top 5 things that I love posting about, I hope you guys can probably nod and be like, yeah, that's true. That's what you post about. I post a shit ton about self-love. I think it's so, so important. And I'm such a self-love advocate. I talk a lot about body positivity. I talk a lot about personal development in the books and podcasts I'm listening to. I post a bunch of recipes because I have celiac disease, and I'm also allergic to dairy. And I've spent the last 12, 13 years figuring stuff out so I can pay that forward to people. And then I also post about my family and Brandon and our travels. And those are like my top 5. Those are the things that I post about, sprinkled in with some like Sunday watercolor cactus paintings and some random funny internet memes, because I love those too. So those are kind of all the things that I cycle through. And as you start to find what your interests are, as you start to find, okay, like I'm super into yoga and meditation, so you might have one of your categories as yoga and meditation, or I'm super into whatever it is you're into, that is going to become an interest category. Okay. And you're going to find that this, like the more you niche down your interests, the more like-minded people you're going to find. It's super easy to think, I just need to like have everybody join me at first. But when you really get specific and focused on who you're speaking to and who you're talking to as a coach, like who you're trying to get to join you, is essentially who you were before you found Beachbody, right? It's who you were at your rock bottom, looking for tools and resources and support in order to get out of that hole. You know, for myself personally, I dealt with some like pretty intense depression and anxiety and body image issues. And I woke up one day and was like, man, I do not feel comfortable in my own skin. And it's not that I had like a whole bunch of weight to lose or anything, but my transformation was so mental that when I got offered to join a challenge group, I did 21 Day Fix program and drank vegan chocolate Shakeology, which I had to research the shit out of because I have so many dietary restrictions. And like 3 days in, I was like, this works. Whatever this is, it is so powerful. I want to do this. I want to pay this forward to people. And that was 3 years ago. And now I've retired myself as a teacher because I literally do this as a full-time job. Same thing, I just host a group every month and pay this forward. So know that wherever you were and wherever you find yourself now, you get to pay that forward to people who are in a similar boat. All right, let's do this one. Oops. Okay, so if you have a piece of loose leaf and a pen, I want you to just write down, I said yes to coaching because. What's your reason for being on this call right now? What's your reason for wanting to join our team? Okay. I said yes to coaching because I was looking for an alternative way to teach and looking for a way to make an income and make a difference in the world without burning myself out as a high school teacher. That's why I said yes. I really wanted something extra. I knew there was more to life, didn't know what it was. All of a sudden, Beachbody coaching falls into my lap like a beautiful little gift from the universe, and I ran with it. So just write down why you said yes. What made you reach out to your coach? What made you reach out and be like, actually, I want to do this. I think I could see myself doing this. Okay. And then number 2, before Beachbody, I remember feeling so what? And if you're just starting your journey, maybe before Beachbody, you remember feeling so lost. Maybe you remember feeling so lonely. Maybe you were a little bit hopeless. You know, maybe you were super in debt. I sure was, from student debt, paid it off because coaching rocks. You got to work hard to make good money with coaching, but everybody on this call I can see has such a huge heart that that's all you need. You just need to be consistent and patient and have a big heart, and you will be successful with it. All right. The 3 things I could speak about passionately if I absolutely had to, we're talking like gun to your head had to, because most people are super scared of public speaking. The 3 things I could speak about passionately without any preparation would be what? What could you talk about if I was like, yo, Kaylee, talk about this. You have 5 minutes, stand up and just speak about it. What are the things you could talk about? For me personally, I could talk about gut health really passionately with quite a bit of knowledge. Okay. I could talk about personal development, and I could talk about a lot about spirituality, surprisingly, which is really funny to me that that's one of my things, but I can talk a lot about like universal laws and spirituality and that kind of thing now. Those are 3 things that I can talk about without a lot of prep. So whatever your things are, if it's like nursing or weight loss or what gardening, you know, if you're a real DIY kind of girl, whatever your things are, whatever you can speak about without any preparation, write that down, because that means that that might be something that you want to share with other people. And then finally, this is just a little tidbit if you're using Instagram. So I'll be honest with you guys, I'm moving more towards Instagram / conversations via email just because of my personal preference. I still am going to host groups on Facebook. I still will post stuff on Facebook, especially like organic questions, because that really gets a lot of good engagement on your post. You know, when you ask people's opinions, they love giving opinions on Facebook. Posting quotes on Facebook is really handy. But I love Instagram because I can connect with people with hashtags. And I really think that Instagram is the platform like that's really blowing up right now. And I think that it's going to be for a little while. So I'm sticking with it. So one of the ways you can find really awesome, like-minded people to yourself is you can take your main interests, what we just wrote down, and you can go to Instagram and plug those in as hashtags. So for example, if my interest, I'll just do this right now really quickly. I know we only have a couple minutes. If one of my main interests is meditation, I love meditation. I'm going to go type in meditation into the Explore, like the little eyeglass page, and I'm going to look at tags, and it's going to show me all the different tags for meditation. And I don't want to choose a tag that has like 14 million people or even like 100,000 people, because my post is just going to get lost in that feed if I choose one of those tags, right? But if I look down and, okay, what do I have? Meditation teacher only has 20,000. Sweet. I'm not a meditation teacher yet though. Meditation pillow only has 2,900. So for example, Kaylee has a meditation pillow. So when she posts a post that's like, spent 10 minutes in silence this morning and it made all the difference, she can put hashtag meditation pillow, and the people who reflect and connect to that post and who maybe also have a meditation pillow, they can find her then. And it's an interest that she has. It's totally relevant to the post she's putting up, and it helps her connect with people who also are into the same things, right? If you're super into hiking, you can look up like women who hike BC or something, you know, and just see like where are your people. So taking your main interests and plugging them into Instagram as hashtags and really finding those hashtags is super key. And you can just copy and paste those into a note on your phone. That I find saves so much time, so that when you do a post, you can just literally go to your notes, copy, go to your post on Insta, paste. Okay, so super, super handy. So the last thing, you guys, we just have a minute, but I just want you to go over after we end this call, what your social media plan is. How many times are you planning on posting per week? When are you planning on posting? When do you think your person will be scrolling, right? My person, I think back to when I was online scrolling, was usually like probably before school, like 8 a.m., which I don't do anymore, probably at like lunchtime, so noon, and probably after school, like 4 p.m., and then again at like 9 p.m. So just try to think about when your person would be like online when you're putting posts up. And the last thing I want to say really quickly is, don't worry about just like posting to post. It can be really, I don't even know what the word is. I'm going to get cut off here, but it can be easy to get caught up in I need to post like 3 times a day. I post like once or twice a day and do like 10 Instagram stories because I love Insta stories. These days are super fun. And the 1 or 2 posts that I put up, I think about, how is this serving people? Is this valuable before I put it up? And that has made all the difference in my social media game, because it means I'm constantly putting out content that I think other people like me will relate to. So I am so excited for you guys. So stoked that you joined our team. Like, get excited. This is everything you want it to be if you show up and do the work and you are patient and consistent and you lead from the heart. If there's any questions at all, you can post them in the team page afterwards. I'm going to put this up as a recording, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get cut off right away. So I'm just going to end it and just say another welcome. Super excited for you guys. So talk very soon.